How does Dell believe that technology can reduce barriers which might impinge on UK business exporting?
Well, the key to exporting is the ability for companies to be able to interact with customers and partners around the world. And technology is one of the greatest ways for that to happen now. It lets communication flow freer. You can reach customers. You can solve other barriers that used to exist, like security problems. It's a huge enabler for companies to be able to fan out around the world.
What do you think those barriers are facing those sort of SMEs that are trying to sort of export? What's the most common ones that you sort of see day to day when you speak to your clients?
Well, there's several. Security is clearly one. Different countries that they're dealing with have different protocols and different issues on how to manage information for their citizens, and so that's always one. Usually there are a lot of local laws about taxes and commerce and e-commerce that face many small businesses. So these are the obstacles that they face in trying to set up an establishment somewhere else.
And in terms of looking at some of those obstacles like security, I mean, they're constant. I mean, that's a pretty major worry, constantly evolving. And that's something that presumably you guys focus on all the time in terms of your products and the products you're delivering.
Absolutely. Dell is known for very secure hardware, and now we've invested in a number of software tools. We recently acquired a company called SecureWorks, for example, that helps companies analyze all the threats and events that are potentially damaging to their business, and then how to deal with them in protecting their information.
And then once all these sort of pieces are in place, and the pieces are in place, in terms of that technology, that can then really presumably contribute to sort of increasing the global market and sort of spreading out your message.
What sort of technology pieces are in place?
Yeah.
Well, there is a whole network of storage capability in terms of how to store your data, how to manage the information, where to save it, and all the protocols around that. There's server technology in how to process your information in the most efficient way. And then, of course, there's all the mobility products. Most companies have fully embraced wireless computing, wireless access to information. They're using many more devices. There is a need for security across that entire network.
And then currency fluctuations seen by many businesses. Again, it's another impediment to business and understanding your trade and everything else. How can technology help there? Presumably it can sort of help to push things together, can it?
Well, technology helps in terms of an entrepreneur being able to keep track of all this. It used to be that you had to kind of guess as to what was going to happen at the end of a quarter. Now you can analyze this on a regular basis, and of course small businesses don't want to be taking a lot of risk on currencies, and there's many tools out there today in the financial sector that can hedge this risk, and I think really the technology just enables them to analyze the risk and be able to figure out how to protect themselves faster.
And then looking ahead, how do you guys at Dell see business going over the next few years, particularly in this part of the world? There's some serious challenges there, but where do you sort of see your sort of 2-3 year vision at the moment?
Well, there are tough conditions facing many businesses, but when I look at fueling economic growth, no matter what part of the world, including the UK and Europe, it's the small business, it's innovation that fuels the growth. So what we've seen is that the small and medium business has been fairly resilient around the world, but they haven't been able to get their ideas forward fast enough because of things like a lack of availability to credit. As the credit environments ease up, which they appear to be doing, I'm very optimistic that small businesses will once again be able to innovate, and that will spur the growth. That's where the growth comes from.
Steve, thank you very much.
Thank you.